Welcome back. So we all know that businesses are trying to get their messages out on LinkedIn and X and Facebook, and there is a real scramble to get eyes onto your content. That's 3 platforms, 3 tones, 3 audiences, 3 different voices. And most people fix that by writing 3 different documents, scheduling activity, and it takes time and effort. Today, I'm going to show you how to use Claude Cowork to build a full content production system inside your computer. It'll draft, format, and log postings across all of the platforms. And think about this as a content producer, but could also be something else that you might want to do. It might be a Claude Cowork for producing your board papers. It could be a Claude Cowork project for checking up on what your competitors are doing. It could be a Claude Cowork project monitoring a regulatory position. You can use this in all sorts of ways. I've chosen to do the content creator because I know lots of businesses spend a lot of time on this, but don't forget, you can use all of this for whatever project you need. As always, I will give you all the templates, all the background, all the information in a pack on the website. There'll be a link down below so you can go and download that, follow along with this video, build your project today. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to do, how to do it, and how to get the most out of it. Let's get on with it. The first thing you need to do is you need to go and download Claude Cowork. And there are versions for Mac OS and for Windows. And this was the biggest upgrade to my business when I was able to download Claude in the app and then get access to Cowork. It's really worth doing. I use it every day, all day. It's fantastic. Claude Cowork is available on all the versions of Claude. However, I will say, having used it for a few days on the £20 program, I found that I was using it so much, I was running out of credits very, very quickly. Now, you do get, I think, double credits if you use it at the weekend, which is great. But I quickly went up to the £100 contract because I'm getting so much value out of it. Now, try it out, see whether it works for you. But I think you're going to be pushing in that direction. If you use it half as much as I do, you'll be getting the £100 a month value out of it. No problem at all. Okay, let's jump in. This is what the app looks like when you start, and it looks just like the normal web version of Claude, and you can choose your different models. I generally use Sonnet, but I've done things in Opus as well, and I think they're both great. If you are using it on the cheaper version, if you are using it on the £20 a month version, then I would suggest using Sonnet. It won't eat up your credits quite as quickly. And really the differences are that when you open this sidebar here, you have these 3 different options. You've got chat, which is just the normal Claude chat, and I use that a lot. You've got Cowork, and we're going to go through that in a moment, and we've got code. So today we're focusing on Claude Cowork. Perhaps I'll do another video on Claude Code if that's something you're interested in the future. Okay, so here we are. You have chat, you've got Cowork, and you've got code. And the big thing, I think, with Cowork is the use of projects. And so you click here on the left on projects, and here are projects that I use all the time. So what these are folders. Think of them like folders, but folders where you give the computer, you give Claude information, you ask it to act in a certain way, and then you can keep going backwards and back to it time and time again, adding to it, adding extra things, and using it again and again. And that's the real power of it. Now, just looking at a couple that I've got my website that sits on here. And as you can see, there's more. I've built out a full website over the last couple of weeks using Claude Cowork. So that's starting from basically a blank sheet of paper, asking Claude what was the industry standard website that I needed for my business. I was previously on a Wix site and I was finding that it was slow and clunky and it wasn't giving me what I needed. So I asked Claude to give me the industry standard version. Claude acted and acts as a developer, and together we built our Sanity CMS, our Vercel backend, Next.js website, and now I can prompt my website. So I can say, I want you to do X and Y, I want you to add this or add that to the website. And I just go back to the Professor website in Claude Cowork whenever I need to work on it, and it does all the work for me. It's linked up to everything. It's connected to everything. It does all of the pushing of things. Really, really good. Now, doesn't mean that I'm not involved with it, because we go through and have conversations about upgrades and updates and that sort of thing. We work out what's best for the website and then we deploy it, and Claude does the coding for me. Very, very cool. You'll have seen my prompt builder on the website, and I've just done a big upgrade of the prompt builder. I'll put a link down below. And now it doesn't just do prompts for things like Claude and ChatGPT. It also does prompts for images and video, and it'll also do system prompts for you as well. So check it out on the website. You get the first 10 goes for free. I've had to put a small charge in to cover the API cost because some people were using it a lot, which is fantastic. I'm pleased that people are using it, but there's a small charge. You get 50 credits for a $5. I think it's something like that. But yeah, go and have a look. Link down below. I've done all that with a project. And of course, when I want to upgrade it again, I go back to the prompt builder, open it up, and we're back there. It understands the prompt builder. It knows where the code is. It knows how the code's been written. And I'm back into it. Start again. Fantastic. So we're going to build a content engine for Claude Code project. And what I wanted to do is understand my voice and brand instructions. It needs to have 3 custom skills to be able to produce activities for LinkedIn and Facebook and X. I want a drafts folder, I want a schedules folder, and I want a folder with the stuff that I've already posted so that I've got a record of everything that's been posted. And that will keep a running log of every post. Okay, so the first thing, and honestly, I would really suggest you follow this step. When you create these things, you are going to be using it again and again and again, and the folder can get very, very messy. So the first thing, the foundation, is let's put a bit of order in. I'm sure we won't keep it, but let's put a bit of order in, and I'll show you how to do that. Okay, so before we start working with Claude Cowork, this is what I would suggest you do. You can get Claude to do this for you, but I think it's at least good discipline to start with some sort of structure. So I'm putting mine in OneDrive, so it's backed up and it's available on other machines that I use, which is really helpful. So it's not just available on this machine that I'm on. So I keep everything on OneDrive. You basically need to create a folder. I've called it Content Producer. And then within that folder, I've created 7 new empty folders right now. One's called Instructions. One's called Voice and Brand, Skills, Drafts, Schedule, Archive, and Post Log. Now, if you don't know, if you're building a project and you're not quite sure what these should be, it's worth having a conversation with Claude saying, I'm thinking of setting up a project. This is what it's going to be doing. Please give me an idea about a folder structure that I should build so that I can keep everything ordered. It's really helpful to give them numbers because otherwise Windows will put them in a order that is alphabetical and it just makes it a bit more confusing. So if you keep it nice and numbered, it keeps everything nice and structured. And you'll notice that what I've done is I've put them in a sensible order. So instructions at the beginning, voice and brand, some skills, drafts, things that are scheduled, the archive, and the log. It matches the workflow that you would expect to do. If you skip this step, you will end up with, I could show you, you will end up with folders full of documents all over the place. You'll struggle to try and find things. I promise you, putting in a little bit of effort at the beginning will really bear fruits. Okay, let's jump in and start creating our project. So let's go to new project. And we're going to start from scratch. And we need to choose a project location. So we'll just open this and I'll find my documents, Claude projects. And we've got content producer. It's now pointed in the right direction. Give it a name. Call it content producer live. Instructions, one-line description. Produces content for LinkedIn, X, and Facebook. Easy for me to see when I'm looking at my big list of projects. I'll be able to see what that is. And we can add files. We're going to do that in a minute. But here we go. And it's now there. Now, it's got nothing in it. Doesn't do anything right now. But we're going to change that. Okay, this is the most important file in the whole project. Create a file called projectinstructions.md. It's an MD file, and you put it inside the instructions folder. You can get Claude to help you build this. So you can copy and paste mine in to your Claude, and you can say, I don't want to do this sort of project. I want to do a different sort of project. I want to use this project for monitoring what my competitors are doing, for instance, and then get Claude to go through with you to create a master document like this using the same structure, but putting all the instructions in that are specifically for you. So use Claude to help you build these documents. But let me go through what the structure looks like. So you've got the name, the project instructions, owner, etc. And then the first thing is purpose. Say what this project does. This project drafts, formats, and logs social media posts for LinkedIn, Facebook, and X. Simple. Talk about brand voice. The outputs must follow the voice guide, which will sit in this folder. The platform skills. So each platform will have its own set of skills. So LinkedIn, Facebook, and X will have its own set of skills so that you're always producing content that's correct for that. Claude never publishes or schedules posts. So it's really important that you stay in this loop. Don't just give Claude a whole load of stuff to do, say, publish it all. You can. I think that's a mistake. You'll end up publishing stuff that you don't like. This is AI. It still makes mistakes. It still needs you to sign things off and to check it. And remember, it'll be going out under your voice. So you have to take responsibility for it. Then we go through the workflow. So reading the brand voice every time. So every time I ask it to do something, it will go back and check that it's got the right brand voice. And this gives you the opportunity to keep that updated. If you pivot in some way, then this is a way of being able to update it. Identify the target platform from the request. If it's unclear, ask a question. Load the matching skills, draft the post, save the draft to drafts, using the naming convention. Add a row to the post log with the status set to draft. Return the drafts in the chat with the file alternative hooks where the skill requires them, and a confidence note. That's the workflow that's going to work through. Put the file locations here. It understands what the where everything is that it needs to look for. Naming conventions, date, platform, short topic slug, etc. MD. I even gave it some examples. And the draft moves to schedule.archive. Keep it the same file name. Move, don't rename it. Hard rules. These are non-negotiable. Apply every time. Never use M dashes anywhere. Now, I can tell you, I have that set on everything in Claude. Never use M dashes. It will still produce M dashes. and I end up telling it off. It's sort of anthropomorphizing. It's sort of me treating it like Claude, a bit like a child. When I see an M dash, I tell it off, and it apologizes. But you need to check. Use comma, semicolon, parentheses instead. Never use any word from the banned word list in my voice guide. And I'll make sure you've got all of this. British English spellings throughout. If you want it to be American English spellings, then put that in. Metric units only. If you want it to use imperial units, go for it. Never publish a post or schedule anything externally. The system draft and log only. Always save the draft in drafts. Always update post log immediately after saving the draft, no exceptions. You cannot complete any step. Missing file, ambiguous request, stop and ask. So I don't want it to just get into a loop. I want it to stop and ask. I want it to perform a confidence review. Every draft must end with a one-line confidence note in the format. So whether you're low, medium or high, and I find this really helpful. So this will push Claude to look at what it's drafted and check that there are references and that there are other sources of that information, and give you a confidence rating. Anything that's low, I would ditch and start again. Try something different, because if Claude's not confident about it, it's quite likely it's got some rubbish in it. And once a week, I'll ask for a review. When this happens, read the log, summarize the number of posts, flag any drafts older than 7 days, and then suggest 3 topic angles for the coming week based on what has not been covered, what has and what hasn't been covered. Then update this section when the project rules change, 1 line per change, newest first. And so I've set that a sort of date, initial project setup. Now, so this is so that over time you can add new instructions to this. You can say, actually, I want you to now produce video options for it, or I want you to produce blog drafts based on what's gone in. So you can add to this over time and build your project up to give you more and more content for this content production. Very, very powerful. Okay, so we've built the master instructions and they sit in there. There's the project instructions. Next thing is voice and brand. Again, we have the voice and brand guide. And again, this is something you can build within Claude. I want to build a voice and brand guide. Ask me questions about what that should be. It will go through, ask you a series of questions. You can copy and paste mine in and say, produce one for me that works along this sort of format. And let's have a look what's in there. The 5 blocks. So tone, direct, practical, slightly contrarian. I like to be quite slightly contrarian. Not upbeat, corporate, preachy, hedgy, breathless or salesy. It's not really my voice. And what you can do is you can put some of your writings in, your blogs, anything that you've done before, and say, please analyze this to work out what I want, and then ask me about it. Is your analysis right? Is that exactly what I want? And you can build it in Claude. Really helpful. You can build the document there. Professor AI voice is a seasoned operator, talking with other operators, confident without arrogance, willing to disagree with the consensus when the evidence support it, allergic to motivational stuff. When I'm writing, use first person singular, I or Paul, tells you a bit about what I've done before, 3 career chapters, address the reader as you and your, never we, sentence rules. So this is about trying to stop the writing looking too much like AI. Otherwise, you'll spend a lot of time editing it. So crank it up, build it in at the beginning, and you'll get better outputs. Vary length aggressively, short punchy sentences alongside long analytical ones. Fragments are fine, contradictions sparingly. Minimal adjectives and adverbs, strip them out on a second pass. No filler phrases. Spelling and punctuation, use British English always, so you get rid of the Zs. Metrics units only. Never use M dashes. I put it in that, so it's in twice now. Quotation marks, double for actual quote, single for emphasis. Whole list of banned words. So these are the words that tell you you produced it with AI. The word fits perfectly and you cannot find a substitute, stop and flag it. Do not slip it in. Brand positioning, sell clarity, not hype. What I write about, AI governance, practical AI tools, etc. Avoid pure technical deep dives, model benchmarks, hype cycles, AGI speculation. Look patterns that work. So some of the things that really work. Negativity is allowed. It's allowed to push back, criticize weak ideas. I'd much rather Claude say, oh, that's a bit stupid, than just press ahead and produce something that's a bit stupid. Always use citations and evidence. Again, you can download this in the pack down below. No problem whatsoever. You can change it to meet your voice needs. This will lift your work, whether you're using Claude, whether you're using ChatGPT. A voice guide is really valuable when using any AI. It stops it feeling like AI, and it means it sounds a bit more like you, which is really what we want. I think this is where it gets clever. We're going to build the 3 skill files. So in skills, I've got 3 files, one for Facebook, one for LinkedIn, and one for X. Let's have a look what these look like. So again, we've got a LinkedIn post skill. Again, create this file, and again, use Claude to help you create this file. So I want to create a LinkedIn skill. Use when Paul asks for LinkedIn posts. You can just say, give me a LinkedIn post, but if I put LI post or content for his NED founder or senior leadership audience on LinkedIn, anything mentioning of LinkedIn, it will use this skill. Draft LinkedIn post for the Professor AI audience, which is NED's founders, mid-career managers, PE-backed leadership teams. Trigger, use this skill when its request mentions LinkedIn, etc. So it's looking for this trigger. The platform is unclear, then ask. Format. The hook, maximum 1,300 characters, including spaces. White space between paragraphs, so not just a block of text, otherwise it's difficult. End with a question or clear call to action, a genuine one, not just thoughts. No hashtags by default, only if Paul asks for them, and then only a maximum of 3. No emojis by default, only if Paul asks for them. So not long ago, I was always asking for emojis because I thought it just brightened them up a bit. But recently, I've had some good LinkedIn posts, and I put my LinkedIn's down below. If you want to follow me and get all my posts, then feel free. Very welcome. I've been putting in some. I've been doing non-emoji posts recently, and they've been doing really well. I think one of my posts got 50,000 views, which was like incredible. Couldn't believe it. Posted on a Sunday afternoon. By Tuesday, I had 30,000 views. I was gobsmacked. So this works. So tone overlay, LinkedIn is more formal than X, but more conversational than a blog. Confidence without arrogance. Prefer direct observations, specific numbers or example, position taken, defended, and inviting disagreement. Output structure, return a draft in this exact format. LinkedIn draft, the post format will appear as it will appear on LinkedIn. Alternative hooks, character count, confidence. Also save the draft to drafts. Engagement benchmarks. For Paul's audience and channel, 2% engagement rate is solid. 5% or higher is exceptional. Do not write to chase virality. Write to be useful for the right 50 people. Cool. So you can download this, and I'm not going to go through them all, but you can also download the Facebook one and the X post skill. And if you want me to do one on something else, let me know, but they're all there for you to download. Link down below, as always. Okay, final thing is set up a post log. So in O6 post log, set up a post log. There it is. Have a look at what's in there. Again, you can download this. So you get the value of this when you're a few months in. You've got this log of everything you posted over the last few months. Really, really valuable. Running log of every social post, drafted, scheduled, posted, or archived. Gives you the status values, the log, the structure, weekly review notes. So this is where we'll get the weekly review from. 1 block per week, newest at the top. Very simple. You get that. So that's our project setup. And as I've said, you can use Claude to produce all of these documents for you. Use my structure as I've set out as a guide. That's why it's there. That's why I've done it this way, so that you can follow along and create your own projects. And as I've said, it doesn't have to be about content. It could be about anything that you wanted. Okay, let's test it out. So I've put draft a LinkedIn post about why most boards still don't have an AI policy. See what it does. It's reading the product instructions. It's created this. Now let's see if it's actually in drafts now. It should have done. There it is in the drafts folder. It wasn't doing what I'd asked it to do. So have you read the instructions carefully? All drafts should be in the O3 drafts and the log should be updated. Why are you not following the project instructions? You're right. I apologize. Let me read them before doing anything else. Now I've read everything properly. Skip steps 1 to 3. This sort of thing happens. Once you get it set up really well, it will work. Checking the character limit, just under the limit. Done. Sorry for the earlier mess. Is a properly formatted output. Alternative hooks, character count. It's going now. Going. Memory saved. This won't happen again. So let's see if we've really got everything we asked for. So we've got the old, this is the old one. So in the drafts, we've got the proper date format. There should be something in the post log. So let's look at the post log. If it's been updated. And there it is. It's updated the post log. So it's adding it to the document. So I've said that's not actually what I want. I want a sort of spreadsheet with them in. So I've asked it to create a spreadsheet, keep everything there. Now, will it keep it in the same folder? So now it's created a post log spreadsheet. Have a look what that says. And this will just build up over time. Much better than the markdown file. Cool. The 3 skills. Okay, so we've sorted out the structure. Create an X post. The same subject. Goes through the X post skill. So there we go. We've got an X draft. Most boards still have no AI policy. The barrier is knowledge. It's nobody wants to own the wrong answer, so they wait. Their employees don't. Character count 153. What a sacrifice to fit. 3 specific barriers. Confidence is high. Let's have a look at the post log. There we go. X is in there now. Now let's try the Facebook one. And of course, you could add in your website content for this. You could add in video ideas for it. You could add in blog ideas. Just build this out so that you've got all of your content in one area being produced with the same voice, the same rules, and there's a log being kept of everything. Really, really good. There we go. More chatty, less formal than the LinkedIn one. Really good. It even gives you an image brief. Confidence high. Really cool. Okay, there you go. The full content producer in Claude Cowork. As I say, I can't tell you how powerful these projects are. If you haven't used them already, give them a go. It will change the way you do your work and the way you do your business. They are absolutely fantastic. I use them every day. It's the first thing I go to in the morning. It's the last thing I close out at night because I'm working on multiple things, multiple areas. And these projects have really made my work so much more efficient. Generally on a Sunday, I spend a couple of hours. I'm producing all of my content for the week. I'm getting my video ideas sorted out. I'm updating my website. I'm checking all of the stats on my website. I'm having a look at what competitors are doing. I'm thinking of blog titles. I'm writing blogs. I'm writing my newsletter. I do all that on a Sunday afternoon using Claude Cowork projects. I promise you, it will change the way you operate. All of the information I've used in this video is in the link down below. So download it, play around with it, change it for yours. It's all free, all available for you. You're very welcome to have it. Tell me what you might use Claude Cowork for, or if you do use it and you've got a fantastic project that you use all the time, tell me about it. I'd be really interested to find out what you're getting out of Claude Cowork. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this. And don't forget to give me a like. It's really helpful. It gets my videos out to more people. And I want more people to be using AI to make their life easier, to make their businesses run more effectively. All right. I've been the Professor. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye for now.